Welcome back to the presentation podcast. I'm Fiva.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Mira.
And for today's podcast, we're interviewing the teachers and asking them some questions that some of you sent in.
So basically we've interviewed every teacher in the school. There were a few who didn't want to or who weren't free, but apart from that, every teacher in the school has been interviewed.
Hope you enjoy. Okay, so what is your name?
My name is Angela Kelly. Actually, it's probably Angela Kelly Dolan, in fact.
I am Miss Delaney.
Darren O'Brien.
Sarah O'Regan. Miss Kelly, Siobhan Kelly. Therese Kingston.
Mary Forrest.
Sean Welsh.
Miss Campbell.
Megan O'Regan.
My full name?
Yes.
Dervla Snow.
Mr. Tyres is my name.
Lauren Fitzmaurice.
Vivian.
My name is Rosario Gleeson, but a lot of my friends call me Rosie.
Like my teacher name, or is my name?
Just look yourself.
Emer Drummond.
Miss Murphy.
Karen Casey.
My name's Ryan Kennedy.
My name is Trish O'Donovan.
My name is Kelsey O'Brien.
Jean Buckley Gallagher.
My name is Miss Coughlin.
Casey Waldron.
My name is Sandra Bouse.
Where are you from?
I originally come from County Kerry, so I used to live in a lovely little fishing village just outside Tralee.
Limerick.
The north side of Cork City.
I'm from outside Carrigaline, County Cork. I'm originally from River Stick, just outside the city.
Well, I suppose I'm originally from West Cork, but I consider myself Cork at this stage, so I suppose Cork.
Limerick.
Castlegrery, County Kerry.
Cavan.
Dublin.
Dublin.
I'm from Cork, Balhassan, Cork.
North Kerry.
Originally from Limerick, but I've been living in Cork nearly 11 years. I'm from Tipperary originally, girls, but I'm gone from there since I was 17.
Carrigaline.
I'm from Tipperary. I'm from Crosshaven.
I'm from Grange and Douglas.
I'm originally from Mallow.
I'm from Douglas in Cork.
I am from Cork.
I usually tell people Cork, but I'm from West Cork.
Blackrock.
I am from Ballygarvan.
What is your favourite colour?
My favourite colour, honestly, I don't really have one. I know it probably looks like black because I always wear black, very nearly always. But I suppose I love red, and I like jewel tones. Do you know what I mean? So the nice emerald greens and deep blues, that kind of thing.
Yellow.
Red.
Green.
What?
Blue.
What's
Blue.
Yellow.
I think blue is my favourite colour.
yellow?
Green.
Green.
My favourite colour is blue.
Baby blue.
Probably navy.
Pink, I think. You might know that better than me.
Can I have two? Favourite colours are like sky blue and pink.
Blue.
Purple.
Green, fair to say.
My favourite colour is orange.
My favourite colour is pink.
My favourite colour is purple.
Favourite colour, I'll have to go for green because it represents presentation Malachan.
Ooh. I don't really have a favourite colour. Probably something blue.
Pink.
What subjects do you teach?
Currently, I teach just French, but I am qualified to teach French and German. I taught German here for very many years before your time. So yeah, if we did have a group coming in who particularly wanted to do German, then yes, I could teach them German again. Yeah, I miss it actually. I do like teaching German.
Music and Irish.
Maths and history.
English mainly, but I'm also qualified to teach Italian. Home economics mainly, but also Irish and link modules too.
Home economics mostly. Some religion, and I could teach Irish, but I haven't done in quite a while.
Irish math.
geography and maths.
Art.
French and PE.
PE and Irish.
Geography.
What's your
English and geography.
At school here, I teach Gaeilge and PE.
I teach maths, biology, and SPHE.
I teach PE and Irish.
I teach science and Leaving Cert biology.
Science and biology.
English, IT Mad, IT Spec, Enterprise. There's a long list this year.
I teach French and religion.
I teach music and Irish.
I teach art.
So I teach history, geography. I can teach French and religion to junior cert, and I'm the guidance counsellor.
History and PE.
Business.
What's your favourite subject to teach?
Actually, probably German. Probably German. It's quite systematic. I think if people work hard at it, they can do very well. Sometimes you need that little bit of flair for French, you know, and huge hard work for both of them, obviously. But I think German can suit people who aren't necessarily linguistically inclined, so long as they're very hard workers anyway. There's a bit of that can be said for French too, but I think particularly for German.
Music, I'd say.
Ooh. Maths.
I like teaching both, I suppose. Home economics, I would say.
Home ec.
SPHE.
I don't actually have a favourite. I like the combination of the two. To teach, probably maths actually.
French.
PE.
I like both, and geography maybe.
I think everyone knows this. English, probably, yeah.
Depends. I like the PE days because I get to wear tracksuit, but I think I prefer teaching Gaeilge.
Oh, that's a hard question. That's very hard. I actually love them all equally. Maybe I could rank 1, 2, 3, but I won't.
I would have said Gaeilge, but I like Leaving Cert PE as well.
My favourite subject is science, especially biology.
I'm still getting used to all of them, but I like teaching English.
Ooh. I suppose I'm just teaching all music this year, but I do love Irish and I do miss it. I don't have a favourite. I love them both equally.
Art.
Favourite subject? I actually really enjoy careers because it gives our students great insight into different types of careers that are out there. They discover more about themselves, and it's just it's a big satisfaction for me when some of our students go on to learn to study what they want to study in college and follow the career that they want to do.
I would have said history if you asked me last year, but Leaving Cert PE now is really interesting, so I really like that.
What is your favourite year to teach course-wise?
My favourite year to teach? I don't particularly have a favourite year to teach, and it would very much depend on the students within different groupings. And you know, you can just sometimes have, I suppose, you know, a particular grouping of students that work really hard and try really hard and are hugely interested, and that can dictate, I suppose, which particular group you like teaching at any one time, you know. So it's not so much about the years or the subjects or anything like that. It's more about the mix of people within the group. You know, that's how teaching varies, I think, more than anything else. It's who's sitting in front of you.
I'm not sure yet.
5th or 6th year.
What's
Leaving Cert. Oh, that's a tricky one. Course-wise, I suppose transition year because there's lots of variety in that.
Leaving Cert, I suppose. The senior cycle course I probably prefer.
Doesn't apply any year, I enjoy.
I like senior cycle. I suppose 6 years are probably the nicest year in a way, because generally speaking, they're kind of self-motivated at that stage. It's kind of like the end is in sight, I suppose. Yeah.
I think first years.
Probably first years.
Leaving Cert.
first years maybe because everyone's so enthusiastic in first year.
Course-wise leaving certs, 5th and 6th year English. I don't know, can I answer that one? Course-wise, leaving cert Gaeilge. Yeah, leaving cert Gaeilge is probably my favourite one to teach.
I think I thoroughly enjoy senior cycle, but it depends on the subject.
In Irish or PE? Or both?
Both.
Either. Can I have more than one? Okay, I really like leaving cert PE, more so the 6th year part. And I like TY Gaeilge.
I like teaching 3rd years. 5th, 6th year?
Course-wise?
Yeah.
First year, because it's easy.
It's a hard question now. I suppose some 6th years, it can be a challenging year, but I suppose you've built up a lovely rapport with the students and you know them very well at that stage, and you've seen, especially in a language, the progress that they've made over the 6 years that they've learned the language.
Probably 1st years because they're beginners and they're just starting out, and 5th years as well because we're starting the Leaving Cert course.
What is my favourite year? Probably 6th years.
Course-wise, I suppose I enjoy every year, but I'm typically teaching senior cycle, and I get on really, really well with 6 years most of the time, and I'm typically their class teacher as well, so we have a great bond.
Senior cycle, definitely.
6th year.
What subjects did you do for your leaving cert?
For my leaving cert, I did the usual, the Irish, English, maths. I did French and German, obviously, and I did biology and home economics, social and scientific.
Music, home ec, and biology.
I did Irish, English, Maths, History, Geography, Business and Latin.
What did I do for my leaving cert? I did obviously the basics, English, Maths, Irish. I did German, French, chemistry, which was a huge mistake, and art, which was my favourite subject. As well as the general subjects, I did home economics, German, and geography and French.
Oh Lord. Home economics, biology, geography and music, and then the core, French, English, Irish, maths.
The standard 7, including sciences and, not business subjects, just the sciences we had the option of.
So I did English, Irish, Maths, Geography, Construction Studies, Ag Science and Business.
I did art and home ec as practicals, and the rest are all, the normal subjects.
I did geography, art, French and biology.
I did French, history, business and music.
I did Irish, the choice subjects was Tech Graph, Business and Geography.
I did art outside of school as an extra subject. I did agricultural science, DCG, geography and French.
For my leaving, I did their English, Irish, Maths, French, history, history, biology and chemistry. I only did, that's 7, I must have done an 8th. No, I did 7 and they take 6, isn't it? Yeah.
Obviously all the sciences, girls, maths and French. And home ec.
Okay, so I did the core ones, English, Irish, maths, then I did German, music, business, biology.
I did biology, ag science, home economics and Spanish.
I did biology, chemistry, physics. All the sciences, can't remember what else I did. French, the usual ones.
English, Irish, Maths, Geography, Business, Economics, German.
My leaving cert I did, God, that's a long time ago to think back. I did English, Irish, Maths, French, history, accounting and business studies.
I did the normal ones, English, Irish, maths. I did French, music, home ec and biology. I think that.
When I was in college, is it?
No, for
Leaving
leaving
cert. Oh, for my leaving cert, English, Irish, maths, history, French, economics and art.
We'll have to blow down the cobwebs there now with my own research. I actually studied ag science, biology, French, geography, and then the usual English, Irish, maths.
I did the usual English, Irish, maths, French, and I did music, biology, accounting and history.
All the subjects, is it? Okay, like list them all out.
Yeah, you did your leaving cert.
Okay, so I did the English, Irish, maths, French, business, accounting, home ec.
Do you have siblings?
I have a lot of siblings. Yeah, I'm actually the youngest of 10. Yeah, I'm the youngest of 10. So growing up I had 5 brothers and 4 sisters. So yeah, big family. Typical Irish family, but from, back in the day, no longer a typical Irish family, I don't think, but it was back in the day.
Yeah, I have 2 older brothers.
4 brothers, yeah.
I do. I have an older brother and 2 younger sisters.
Yes, one of each. I do. I have 5. I have 2 sisters and 3 brothers.
Yep, 3.
Yeah, 2 brothers and 1 sister.
No.
Yeah, I have an older brother and a half sister.
I do.
I do. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister.
I do. I have a younger brother.
I do. I have 2 sisters, 1 older and 1 younger.
I do. I have 2 sisters and 3 brothers.
I do. I have 1 brother and 1 sister.
I have an older brother and an older sister.
I do. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
I have 2, 1 older brother and 1 younger brother.
Do I have siblings? Yeah, I have 3 sisters. I don't have any brothers.
Yes, I have 2 brothers and a sister.
I do.
I have 4 older brothers.
No, only child.
I have 3 siblings. Do you have children?
I do indeed. I have 2 children. I have a daughter who's she's in 4th year, she's 16 years old, her name is Ava. And my son is in 3rd year this year, he's called Steve.
2 boys.
I have 2 little boys.
Yes, I have 1 little boy, yeah. I do. I have 3.
3.
No, not sure.
No.
I do not.
No.
No.
No, I don't have any kids. Not yet.
I have 1 girl called Robin.
I do. 2 little girls.
I do not.
No. I do. I have 3 children.
Not yet.
I don't have any children. I have a cat.
No. I have a dog.
I do.
Nope, no children. I have enough kids in here to be seen after.
I do have children.
When is your birthday?
My birthday is Thursday week, 14th of October, so you can bring the gifts to the classroom.
The 18th of July.
31st of July.
It is smack bang in the middle of the year, 15th of June.
In July, 12th of July.
September.
December.
October.
4th of February.
31st of May.
February.
In September.
The 22nd of February.
The 1st of August, but I won't say what year.
Do I have to give the year? No, girls.
No, just the day.
Yeah, this isn't going to be where I'm caught out quiz, is it? The 19th of November.
The 20th of January.
The 28th of April.
2nd of November.
12th of May 1995.
My birthday is in March. It's actually St. Patrick's Day, the 17th of March.
The 13th of June.
When is my birthday? In August, the 4th of August.
Birthday's actually this Friday.
The 5th of January. I'll expect presents now.
What's your brother's birthday?
April.
What is your star sign?
I'm Libran. We're meant to be a very fair sign, apparently, very just.
Yeah, that's Cancer.
I'm a Leo.
Gemini.
Cancer.
So now we're
Virgo.
Capricorn.
Libra.
Aquarius.
Gemini.
I'm not sure, sorry.
Wait, show me live my mother.
Sorry.
Yeah, do you want to look it up there?
Should have come prepared.
What's the date?
The 11th.
I can't do February, I'm not joking.
Red through Aries.
Oh, you still can't, so I'm not even joking.
This is where autocorrect comes in.
I know. Yeah, what is Aquarius? Same.
Libra.
I'm in Pisces.
Scorpio, you should know the answer to that, so.
Capricorn, I think.
I actually don't know.
April star sign.
It's
You're a Taurus.
yes, I did know that.
So now,
Scorpio.
so now we're
I think that's a Taurus.
What's it? What's the May? Yeah. I think
May,
it's
yeah.
Taurus.
I don't know
My
that.
star sign then is Pisces.
Gemini.
You're going to ask me my age, thankfully. Star sign, Libra.
Capricorn.
Aries.
Okay.
I'm just going to look up some common characteristics for your sign and see if you think that you match that.
Okay.
Do you think you're extroverted?
I can be, but there are times that I can be, I know it probably doesn't seem like it to you, but I suppose growing up I was probably a bit shy. I've become more extrovert as I got older.
Do you think you're cozy?
Cozy? Am I cozy? I suppose sometimes it wouldn't be the first word that come into my head to describe myself, being honest.
Do you think you're friendly?
I think so, yeah.
Intelligent?
God, I hope so. After all these years, I really hope so.
Frank?
Very.
And persuasive?
Depends who I'm talking to. Some people are more easily persuaded than others.
Would you say you are hyper emotional?
No.
Would you say you are devoted?
Like really enthusiastic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say you're spiteful?
No, not really.
And would you say you place a high value on family and friends?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Would you say that you are big-hearted?
I can be.
Would you say that you are generous with your time, energy, respect, and money?
I would. Yes, I had to go through all of them. Yeah, I would.
And would you say that you are a natural leader?
Maybe not. Maybe not. Sometimes I follow. Yeah.
Would you say that you are extroverted?
Sometimes yes.
Would you say that you're clever?
Yes, I suppose, yeah.
Would you say you're indecisive?
Yes.
Would you say you're unreliable?
No, I think I'm pretty reliable.
And last one, would you say that you're impulsive?
I can be, but I would have been, not so much now, I was very impulsive when I was your age.
Would you say that you're hyper emotional?
No.
Would you say that you're extremely fond of your loved ones?
Yes.
Would you say you're devoted?
Yes.
And would you say that you place a higher value on family and friends than things like a career?
Oh, yes.
Would you say you're humble?
I think I'd like to think so.
Would you say you're practical?
Yes.
Would you say you're kind?
I probably am most of the time.
And would you say you're sympathetic?
I think so.
Would you say you're ambitious?
Reasonably,
Would you say you're sensitive?
yes.
Would you say you're practical?
Very.
And would you say you're disciplined?
Fairly disciplined, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Let's see. So
Would
clever.
you say that you are extroverted?
Extroverted. Oh, I think I'm extroverted, yeah.
Would you say that you're friendly?
I think I am, yeah.
Would you say that you're intelligent?
Oh, A little bit, I suppose. Not amazingly, no.
Would you say that you are persuasive?
Sometimes I think maybe, yeah.
And would you say that you are very frank?
At times as well, I probably can be, yeah.
Do you think you're self-reliant?
Probably not. I don't know. I don't think so.
Would you say you're optimistic?
Yeah, most of the time.
Would you say you're clever?
Clever in my own subject. With other stuff, I can find it very hard.
Would you say you're calm and sensitive?
Yes.
And would you say you're enthusiastic?
Yeah.
Would you say that you're extroverted?
With people I know, yeah.
Would you say you're clever?
Oh, yeah.
Would you say you're indecisive?
Yeah.
And would you say you're impulsive?
Yes.
Would you say you're self-reliant?
Yeah.
Would you say you're clever?
Yeah.
Would you say you're optimistic?
I am, yeah.
And would you say you're calm and sensitive?
Yes.
Would you say you're extroverted?
Yes.
Would you say that you're concerned with attaining balance, harmony, peace, and justice in the world?
Yeah, yes.
Would you say you're intelligent?
Some people would say no, but I like to think yeah.
And would you say you're frank?
Frank, meaning?
Meaning
Honest.
blunt.
No.
Would you say you're emotionally sensitive?
Not really.
Would you say you're gracious?
Probably.
And would you say that you're emotionally aware?
Yes. Yeah.
Would you say that you are a natural leader?
At times, yeah.
Would you say that you're big-hearted?
For some people.
Would you say you're generous with your time, energy, respect, and money?
Maybe not money, but yeah, all the others very generous, yeah.
And would you say that you have a natural sense of self-assurance?
Yeah.
Would you say that you are secretive?
No.
Would you say that you are a profound thinker?
Yes.
Would you say that you constantly step away from the public?
You can answer that. Don't think so, girls. No.
And would you say that you are passionate?
Passionate about my subjects. Yes. Yeah.
Would you say you're ambitious?
Yeah.
Would you say you're disciplined?
Yes.
Would you say you're persistent?
Very.
And would you say you're sensitive?
No.
Would you say you're extravagant?
I hope so, yeah.
Would you say you're prone to anger?
No, definitely not.
And would you say you have a strong desire for social and corporate stability?
Yeah.
Okay, would you say you are secretive?
No.
Would you say you're mysterious?
Yeah.
Would you say you're a profound thinker?
Oh yeah, deep.
And would you say you're passionate?
Yes.
I just think I'm amazing, you see, so maybe you don't think that way.
Okay. Oh, but these are some. Okay. Do you want to read them? Here you go. Take my phone.
It's so weird.
You just worded strangely.
Would you say you are prone to anger?
As far as we know, I
No?
no.
Not, if you don't think so, then
No,
I'll say
not
no.
a whole. Not a whole.
Would you say you have a strong desire for extravagance?
No, I don't think so.
And would you say you have a strong desire for social and corporate stability?
Definitely.
Oh, do you think you're emotionally sensitive?
I would be, yeah.
I think you're gracious.
Possibly.
And emotionally aware?
I would be emotionally aware, but maybe that comes more from maybe that I'm an older teacher now than maybe the fact that it's your start sign. Having experienced some more of life, maybe.
Oh, do you think you go to great lengths to ensure that people around you are happy?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
And do you think you're creative and imaginative?
Well, I'd be creative, imaginative, maybe sometimes now my imagination isn't as good as it used to be when I was younger.
Okay, so do you think you're inquisitive?
Yes.
Do you think you're intelligent?
Yeah, I suppose.
Do you think you're a great thinker?
Sometimes, yeah.
Do you think you can easily convince people to your thoughts?
Yes.
Jesus. It's the last one there. I didn't see that.
Would you say you're compassionate?
No, not particularly. Maybe a little bit.
Are you big-hearted?
Big-hearted? Yeah, I suppose I am.
Do you think you're a natural leader?
A natural leader? Yes, I suppose I am, yeah.
Driven?
Driven, yes.
Would you say that you're extroverted?
Extroverted, definitely. Yeah, I think as a teacher you kind of have to be a little bit anyway, yeah.
Would you say that you're friendly?
Friendly, I would hope so. I would hope that I'm seen that way, and also I feel that I am.
Would you say that you're concerned with attaining balance, harmony, peace and justice in the world?
I 110%. I'm all about justice in the world and social justice as well in particular, and ensuring the rights of our students, as well as them doing right within the world as well. I think I mentioned on the last podcast, you know, seeing after the environment we're in, because it's your future and I want to make sure you have a good one, you know.
Would you say you're intelligent?
Yeah, in certain areas I suppose I am, yeah.
And would you say that you're frank?
Frank and honest, definitely, yeah.
Would you say that you are ambitious?
Definitely, yeah.
Would you say that you're practical?
Yeah.
Would you say that you're disciplined?
Yeah.
And would you say that you are persistent?
100%.
So, do you think you're very ambitious?
Very ambitious.
Would you say you're honest?
Definitely honest.
Would you say you're a good organizer?
Yes, definitely good organizer.
And would you say you're optimistic?
Yes, you have to be optimistic.
Yes,
Definitely.
you seem to fit the Aries star sign.
What other jobs have you had other than teaching?
What other jobs have I had? It's a bit of a mix. I suppose when I was studying, I thought I would have worked as a barmaid, a waitress. I worked in a factory in Germany for a while. I was an au pair in France for a while. What else did I do? I worked for a trade union in London. Yeah, that's about it, I think, guys.
I've had some other jobs at music, so I was ushering concerts with college a few years ago. That was really fun, and I teach piano at the weekends to kids, which I really, really like. It's really nice to do.
The only other job was a part-time job in Dunn Stores, Merchants Quay.
I've had lots of jobs. Do you want me to list them?
Yeah, if you want to.
I worked in SuperValue in the meat counter. Then I worked in Centra in Behind the Till in the deli counter when I was in college. And then I worked in a pub, an Irish pub in Italy. I worked in the accounts department in Black & Decker for the Italian expenses kind of side of things. I was very good at doing job interviews, and I used to get myself into jobs and then not really know what I was doing. But I used to just work. But after I did my degree, I just worked to fund my travels. So I worked in the accounts department in Johnson & Johnson. I worked in Cork Art Supplies for a few years. I worked as a travel consultant for that sounds fancy, but it wasn't. Timeshare, travel company, you know. Yeah, so kind of like a travel agent, but no, yeah, I didn't really know what I was doing, to be quite honest. I worked in offices and things in Australia, and they're the main ones. And then I taught in a school in London for 5 years.
In college, jobs I would have had, I would have worked in a craft shop, gift shop in Kinsale. I would have worked as a housekeeper in a hotel in Kinsale as well, as a waitress in a restaurant. And when I was in college, I also spent a summer working in Newport, Rhode Island in the USA, where I was working at a deli counter making sandwiches, and I also did a little bit of work in the bakery there as well, and I loved that. That was my favourite job that I had outside of teaching.
Not really. It was all in the education area. I did, during my summers, I worked in restaurants and hotels and things like that, but it's all been around education.
I worked in hospitals and I've worked in a shop.
So I used to work as a landscaper, cutting grass and like gardening work, whatever. I used to work with builders when I was in college for summers, do different things, shuttering and carpentry and all that kind of thing. And I worked in a chipper for a little while, a couple of summers. And I worked in a couple of bars at different stages when I was in college and things like that. So that's about it, yeah.
Well, I've done some part-time jobs, but not any jobs that are near as important as teaching. Just small little jobs.
Coach tennis. I used to create geography courses for Leaving Cert, and I used to work in Argos.
I've worked in restaurants, sport shops, supermarkets, bar work.
I worked, and I still do work in an engineering company. I worked as a personal trainer, and I worked in a restaurant.
Like as in part-time jobs?
As in anything?
Just anything you've done other than teaching.
I worked as a farm worker in America. I've worked in a chipper. I've worked in a bar. I've worked in a nightclub. I don't know, I'm trying to think. I think that's it, everything really, yeah.
Babysat, that was my job when I was younger. I worked in a concert hall, an usher. When I was in college, I used to work at Harry Carey, the furniture curtain shop. And then I was in the Navy for a few years, and then teaching.
Okay, so I worked as a kids coach, call it for Little Kickers. It's like teaching 18 months to 6-year-old kids how to do fundamental movement skills through soccer and play. I worked as a waitress, and so I do. Oh, I worked on campsites as a courier, so like cleaning mobile homes, etc.
I used to work in a shop when I was a student as part-time. I used to work in a pub as part-time work, and yeah, that's it.
Apart from teaching, when I was younger, I used to work in a coffee shop in California. I used to surf for years, and then I did dog grooming. I love animals. What else did I do? Mostly teaching. Oh, I used to work in a flight academy, so I did some flying. That's about it. Lots of different things.
Most people are saying, oh, I worked in a coffee shop during college, and then you have this long list of
Yeah, that's cool though.
I worked in a super value before. I worked in a pub. I was in Boston for a summer and I worked as a tradesman, but I didn't know what I was doing. And I did my work experience in school in a primary school.
Other than teaching, well, I suppose my first job was I used to work in a supermarket when I was maybe year age. When I was in college, I used to go to France every summer and work as an au pair. That's how I would have learned the language. I would have spent maybe 3 or 4 months every summer in France. Then when I was teaching first as a younger teacher, I used to work for an Irish company. on a holiday, on a campsite as a courier every summer for a number of years. So then I'd come back then and teach, but it would just mean in the summer you could live in France and you'd be using your language a lot. I worked as a teacher in another school before coming here, in Limerick, in County Limerick, in a place called Hospital. Then I took a career break and I worked as a childhood support worker with the ISPCC for a year and a half. So I used to also manage the Childline service during that time. Then I worked in Bruce for 2 years in Bruce College, and then I've been here since 2002.
I worked in a jewellery shop in town for years, and I used to do ear piercing and cartilage piercing and all that kind of thing, and I used to also sell jewellery and lots of different things. So I worked there all through college, good 5 or 6 years.
Oh, that's really
It's a kind of a family business. So
That's so cool.
I worked as a dishwasher when I was a student in a restaurant for 2 to 3 years. I also worked in a gherkin factory, and I worked in a silicone factory as also when I was a student. And since I qualified, I've worked as a teacher ever since.
I've had a very good selection of jobs. I worked on a farm a good bit when I was younger, and also a random one, but I used to work on these paddleboat things that were in a very small village, and it was an odd job, but it was fun. Like a lagoon, basically, yeah. And people used to get stuck, and I'd have to roll them out of things and situations.
I worked in a jeweller's, I worked in JD Sports, and my first job was actually in Cork on Ice, working as an ice rink person.
Accounting.
What did you want to be growing up?
Do you know, I suppose growing up, well, I can think of my younger days when I was, just wanting to become a singer or an actress, the usual things that young girls want to become or whatever. I suppose as time went on, it became more about what I liked, and I really liked my languages at school and whatever, so it became a thing about just, I don't know what I want to study, but it'll be the subjects I like, German and French, do you know? Teaching kind of would have come down the line. Probably would have thought, after I went to college and whatever, I would have thought, okay, what can I now do? So that's when, I suppose, teaching kicked in.
I always want to do something with music.
Teacher, I wanted to be a teacher.
I had no idea. I just didn't, I had no clue. I didn't train to be a teacher until I was 27, and that was just because I thought I'd better grow up and get a proper job. So.
I did want to be a teacher early on, definitely, but I suppose maybe in 5th year I knew that I definitely wanted to be a home economics teacher in particular.
A teacher.
Funnily enough, teacher.
When I was younger, I kind of wanted to be a builder, and then I went building for summers, and I realised that wasn't all it meant out to be, and then I kind of felt I'd like to work with young people as a teenager, so would kind of pursue the teaching thing then, rather than being a carpenter or whatever in that way.
I wanted to be an artist, so not a teacher.
A vet.
I actually always wanted to do PE, so anything involved in sports, like sports science or physical education, so kind of similar to what I'm doing now.
What did I want to be? Same as everyone, probably soccer player.
I wanted to be a vet. When I was small, I wanted to be in the Navy when I was growing up. So I ticked that.
I really think a teacher. I think it was always a teacher.
And always the same subjects as you ended up doing?
Yes, yeah. Sounds very boring.
When I was in primary school, I wanted to be a guard. And after I wanted to be a physio.
I always wanted to be a teacher.
I wanted to be. I went from wanted to being a vet, and then I didn't get the points, so I then loved science, so I moved teaching.
Football.
When I was growing up, it's funny, since I was a small child, I always wanted to be a teacher, but maybe I wasn't quite sure when I was younger whether I preferred to be a primary school teacher or a secondary school teacher. So I remember often I used to play school a lot with my sisters, and I'd always be the teacher, bossing them around.
I didn't really consider much else. It was always kind of, I knew that I loved Irish and I knew that I loved music, but I knew I didn't want to be a full-time musician. So I suppose teaching was always kind of the first option. I also considered primary school teaching instead of secondary school, and I also considered like working with kids with like intellectual disabilities and special needs and things like that.
And something in the art line, the art world. My family are all architects and artists and designers, so I wanted to work in that area because I love that area. And a lot of people don't really see the importance of it for jobs, but it is quite good for jobs. And because a lot of people don't go into it, there's plenty of jobs there if you want them.
I actually initially wanted to be a nurse, and then I wanted to be a guard, and then I ended up with teaching because I actually went to a career guidance counsellor myself, and they kind of guided me in the right direction.
Always want to be a teacher. Yeah, always want to be a teacher.
If you could add one subject to the school curriculum, what would you choose?
What would I choose? Well, if it were my choice, and I suppose this is me speaking kind of in an ideal word, I find the law very interesting, strangely enough. So I suppose some aspect of law or study of law would be, but that might not make sense to most people, but it would be just something else that I find interesting.
I'm not really sure. I'm sure you'd be better to answer that question, what you'd want to learn.
Italian, engineering maybe, applied maths. There's 3, yeah.
Italian? Well, apart from home economics, of course, it's already on the curriculum. I suppose maybe a general cookery skills class for everybody outside of the home economics curriculum.
Well, I think if everybody could do cooking, not necessarily home economics, because not everybody wants to do that, but I think everybody needs to know how to cook and look after themselves.
Sociology or some type of awareness along the lines of CSP.
That's a good question, actually. I've never thought about it really. To the school curriculum here, or just in general?
Whichever.
I suppose like ag science is a nice subject. It's project based and interesting. Overlap with biology. It's a good solid subject. That or maybe woodwork. I think it's a good kind of a subject to do in terms of theory and also giving, I suppose, life skills in terms of being able to use different tools or whatever appropriately, like in the right place. I don't know. I think it'd be good, yeah. So maybe 1 or 2 of them.
I think maybe an extra subject. That's interesting. I think a time-out class, a class where people could completely, I know there's yoga here, but I mean properly zen out, relaxing time.
Psychology.
Probably more emphasis on well-being, probably. Maybe well-being class.
Something to do with health and nutrition.
Agricultural science.
Well, they've added PE, so that's good. An extra one. Maybe Spanish, the language, I think will be a good addition. Oh, that's hard, guys. That's very hard.
Spanish. Now, are you talking about our school curriculum here?
Or whatever.
Or the broader? No, I'd love if we had Spanish here in school, and I'd love if Spanish was more common in other schools as well, which it isn't really.
Ooh. As in our school in particular?
Yeah.
What would I add? I'd probably add like woodwork or metalwork or something.
I'm actually not sure. I think there should be definitely a subject that's more hands-on about the real world in regards to growing up and kind of independent living, kind of, yeah.
That they have to do, I think, ethics, something like that.
Just to the camera.
Yeah.
Politics and society.
Probably IT more, that everybody would do it. Because for me, for instance, I didn't have, like even you'd have much more experience in IT than I would have had when I was younger. And I just think, particularly the world we live in today, it's just such an important thing to be very skilled in.
Anything, if you wanted to make anything a subject.
Fashion design.
Oh, that's good.
Things like drama should be included on the curriculum. I think it's really important, speech and drama, for students' self-development.
To be honest, it would have been PE for me being as a senior cycle subject, and thankfully we have that in the school now, and I think we're the only girls' school in all of Cork to have that, so I just think that's fantastic, to be honest.
Well, I wanted PE, got that. I don't know. Can't think of anything.
In this school?
Just any, like, if you can make anything a
Accounting.
subject. Why did you want to be a teacher?
Why did I want to be a teacher? That's actually a really good question, because in some ways I fell into it, being honest about it. In some ways I fell into it. I suppose it came down to what I had studied and what I was, as I say, able to do with the degree I had and so on. But actually I've never regretted it. It was, sometimes they say, what's meant for you won't go by you, And I do think in some ways it was sort of meant for me. It found me rather than in some ways I finding it, But yeah, no, I've never regretted it, and I've had some fabulous times. There's some amazing students in this school, and always have been. I think sometimes the students in our school sometimes don't value themselves enough. I don't actually realise, I suppose, how good they are, and how good they can be. So that's the one thing I suppose I would like to see promoted in the school, just for students to realise actually what they've got to offer themselves, and just demand that bit more of themselves.
I don't know, I was really enthusiastic with music and about Irish as well, and I really wanted to kind of help that other students would be enthusiastic about it too, and they'd be able to come into class and actually enjoy it rather than just have to learn for exams.
To help students, because I struggled myself, so just kind of help students that were like me, or maybe help students who kind of just found the two subjects I teach difficult.
I didn't want to be a teacher. Both my parents were teachers, and I promised myself I was never going to be a teacher. And then because I did a BA, a Bachelor of Arts, you're kind of restricted. Well, at the time, now you can do a master's in anything, but back then you kind of had to either go into teaching or journalism, and I just decided to go into teaching, and because my dad was a deputy principal, and yeah, so it was just an easier route for me. So actually, it wasn't until I started teaching that I realised that I actually liked it.
Because I really love my subject. I love home economics, and I knew that I wanted to do something career-wise that involved that subject.
My mother was a teacher, and I suppose that was what I wanted to be.
Because I had absolutely fantastic teachers myself growing up.
I'm not sure of the actual reason. I suppose I just felt like that it appealed to me, the working with. I suppose I felt when I was in school, I enjoyed school, and I suppose I had teachers that kind of inspired me, and I wanted to just kind of, I suppose you have the chance of doing good, so I kind of wanted to become a teacher, like subjects, like to work with young people, and I suppose hopefully be the good role model like that I had when I was in school, sort of for at least some of the students here.
I wanted to help others realise how important art is as a subject.
I guess because I found school hard, and what made it easier was having a good teacher or having a teacher that actually cared. So I would like to be that for some students who struggle in school and keep them in school.
I really enjoyed PE in school, and I wanted to take it to college and see what it was all about.
My dad is a teacher and he always spoke highly of it, so that's probably where it came from.
I like how connective it is. Like, I like the communication within the classroom. I like how interactive it is. I like that it's a vocation as well as a profession. Like, you're actually improving people's lives in a way every day. And I like the way it's different every day as well.
I wanted to be a PE teacher, and I remember I was rowing one day. I used to row when I was in 5th year, and we were teaching younger people how to row. I was like, oh, this is fun. And then I was like, oh, be a PE teacher. So that was it. Simple as.
Because I always enjoyed school. I always loved school and admired my own teachers, I suppose, really. That was the biggest incentive.
Well, I didn't.
Know this story very well.
So I wanted to do physio, but missed out by 1% on my biology. And then I kind of wanted to be a primary teacher. I don't know, I just fell into it. I just said I'd just do PE teaching. But I always used to teach my Furbies when I was younger. So apparently, if you whatever you used to do when you were younger, like whatever game you used to play or what you used to do, that's what you were meant to be. So I used to teach my Furbies.
I should be a teacher and a mathematician.
There you go.
I always love science and teaching science and helping others.
Because I love young people. It's so much fun.
When I did the work experience, I really liked working with kids. I don't know, they might have been a bit too young for me. I was in like senior infants, so maybe there was a bit too much of a gap there. And I think I have the traits for it, even though the Taurus ones didn't really suit me there.
I suppose for me, really, a lot of it is I like working with young people, and I like explaining things, and I suppose I'm quite patient as a person. And then I suppose for me, the advantage of being a secondary school teacher is you can specialise more in the subjects you really like yourself. And for me, I suppose I really still love French, and I still love teaching. This is the start of my 30th year teaching, and I still very much love it. Whereas I suppose even in Leaving Cert I was unsure, was it maybe primary school teaching or secondary school teaching, but I'm glad this is what I know now. This is what I much would prefer. I would, primary school teaching is you're in a very different role.
Why did I want to become a teacher? I suppose because I have such a love for Irish and music that I wanted to pass it on to my students.
My passion for my subject, and I feel that it's really important that students might benefit from learning about the visual world. I love what I do. I love teaching art. I think it's a great subject, and I feel I'm the luckiest person in the school.
I suppose really and truly I enjoy it myself, but I also want to make a difference to certain, to every student's life. If you can improve their life in some capacity, like what a great job to have then,
I am just super organised. I'm weirdly OCD, and I like things in folders, and I like stationery, and I like colours, and I like people. So I think that's kind of what made me love the job.
What?
Because I want to help people.
What is your favourite food?
My favourite food? Something that somebody else cooks for me. But I hate fish. I don't do fish. I know I'm from a fishing village. I don't do fish. And I don't do cabbage, but or anything, I kind of like vegetarian food. But that's not to say I don't like my pastas and my rices, that kind of thing as well, But I'm just sick of cooking myself for us. It's a bit like that. So it's when anybody else cooks something for me, that's my favourite food, to be honest.
Chocolate.
I might have said steak and chips the last time, but I don't know why I said that. It's not steak and chips. I don't really eat that. I would say it's probably pasta. I'd say some type of. Usually it's pasta. Yeah.
I love all food. when I'm finished one meal, I'm already thinking about the next meal. I don't know, I suppose I have a sweet tooth, so I do like chocolate dessert.
So I like seafood dishes, but I also like sweet things like desserts. I like baking. It's something I like doing.
Ooh, I don't know. Roast chicken, I suppose.
Usually vegetable.
I suppose I'm a big pizza fan. Too much, maybe. Sometimes. But yeah, pizza, I'd say, would be my favourite if I was getting food, yeah.
Probably curry.
Burgers.
Chips.
My favourite food? I don't have a favourite, I eat anything. So I don't have a favourite.
What are your my favourite food? Doesn't matter what type, like no. Chicken curry,
Lasagna.
coffee, chocolate. In that order, I think.
Italian food.
Chicken.
I had a nice Chinese last night.
My favourite food. It's a hard one now. I love like Irish stew.
Pizza.
Marzipan.
Favourite food? Can't beat steak and spuds, can you? No, I'd have to go for that.
Chips, 100%.
Chicken curry.
What are your hobbies?
My hobbies. Okay, at this stage, what have I left at this stage of the game? I love yoga. That's probably my main hobby. When I have a little bit of time, that's what I will do. I just find it's great, it's fantastic for your mind, it's fantastic for your body, and as you're getting older as I am, things like, keeping your joints and so on, so well, it's very, very good for you, and I really enjoy it.
Well, playing music is a big one, and then I like reading as well.
Anything sport, rugby, football, hurling, yeah.
At the moment, I don't really have time for hobbies with 2 small kids, but I love art, and I love traveling. Before I had kids, we always went traveling on our school breaks, so we'd always go to city breaks like Berlin or Amsterdam or those kind of places. I loved that. And sorry, now my brain is tired. Hobbies. I like watching documentaries. I like social history. I like going to see old buildings and imagining what it was like to live there. That kind of stuff.
I like walking, I like reading, go to the cinema, travel, and cookery and baking in particular.
Walking. Cooking is a hobby as well as having to do it. I like gardening. That's kind of it.
Reading. Would go to the Pilates classes, walking.
I don't really have a hobby as such. I like playing a little bit of six-a-side soccer. I used to play a bit of soccer and football. I like going for a walk. Like the odd cycle, very odd. Cycle. I try to attend the gym, but motivation levels are fairly slack. So like a little bit of everything. Hobbies, I suppose, really. Just a little bit of soccer and I suppose just general exercise on a kind of a weekly basis or whatever.
I do horse riding and I like walking as well.
Tennis, climbing, gym, basically all sports, and guitar.
I box and I like drinking coffee.
Any sport, playing any sport.
My hobbies include reading, obviously, because I have a lot of that to do. Farming, like show cattle, show cows, anything to do with farming, really. Yeah.
At the moment, I like running. I like going to the gym. Music, I like going to concerts when they're on.
I love baking. I love walking, cycling, Pilates. They would be my biggest.
Music and sport, soccer in particular.
I like sport. I play football and I enjoy shopping.
Tennis, surfing, swimming, walking. That's about it.
I play soccer. I go out with friends. This is starting to feel like a French interview there now, or a French oral or something. But overall, I'm pretty boring.
Hobbies. I love walking and I like cooking. I go to the gym as well, sometimes swimming. But walking would be the thing I'd probably do every day in all types of weather.
Singing, playing the guitar, piano, what other shopping.
So reading, I suppose, is my other big love, English and reading. I love reading. Yeah. And I'm in a book club. Yeah.
Hobbies outside of school, I suppose I really enjoy, well, I used to enjoy playing football, going to the gym, things like that. Basketball was one of my hobbies, and I'm thankfully this year going to coach the girls in basketball, so that'll be fun.
Anything to do with sports, gym, like being outside, walking, reading, Netflix, usual.
Do you have any?
I don't have time for hobbies at the moment, but sport, if I have to be sport, yeah.
Any hidden talents? Not that I know of. I'd be good at, like, I like, I suppose, kind of, like at the moment we have a new house, kind of, I'd be good at colours and kind of
like
decorating and things, yeah, things like that I'd like, or putting clothes together, things like that I like. Maybe for other people sometimes I might help my friends choose outfits for occasions and things like that.
Not too sure. I don't think so.
They're fairly hidden, I'd say, if I do. I don't think so. I'm not very musical, and no, so I would say I'm pretty. This is what I am. Yeah, there's nothing hidden about me.
It depends on, I don't know. I can draw. I don't know if that's a hidden talent. I don't know.
No. No, not that I could think of on the spot anyway.
I don't think so.
I've got very few answers for that question.
If they were hidden, then if I knew. I expect, like everybody, there are things about myself that I'm not aware of.
Not that I know of, anyway.
You can't move your ears, no? Nothing like that?
No, nothing. No hidden talents. I think not. Perhaps there is something, I just need to find it.
Do I? No. I'm sorry, I don't. I'm not that interested.
Any hidden talents? Very good at walking on my hands. So handstands. I wouldn't say guitar is one, but let's just pretend it is.
I drink a lot of coffee, that's.
I don't think so.
My hidden talents, I'm good at driving tractors.
No, I could say no, I can stand on my head or do a tumble turn. Not really, no.
Maybe my baking now, Miss Kingston mightn't be too pleased to hear that, but maybe my baking. I have my grade 8 in violin.
And
I have double diploma. Oh.
I don't think so. No, I have no. I don't think I'm sporty, but I can't draw. I can't play an instrument. Can't sing. No talents. Useless.
The surfing thing.
Yeah, but they're hidden.
Oh, I don't think so, no.
Hidden talents, bossing people around.
Hidden talents. I think I've showed you all my talents, to be honest. And I know there's a talent show coming up at Christmas, but I'll have to think hard about that one.
I don't think so. I probably do now. I can't think of anything. No, don't think so.
And last question, what is one thing that students wouldn't guess about you?
One thing that students wouldn't guess about me, I suppose they probably would see me as somebody who's quite demanding and demands quite a high degree of work and discipline from them. I suppose what they might not guess is that I can actually be quite a softie behind it all. You know, yeah, that's true. I'm the first one to cry at a soppy film right now, so I'm gone. So that might be the only surprising thing I'd say.
I don't know, I don't have a good answer. You can take a bit of time for that one if you want to, or else you can just leave it.
One thing students wouldn't guess about me. Yeah, I don't know, really. That's a tough one. Yeah, that I can be kind of handy at sport. That I was kind of handy at sport. Maybe actually no, scratch that. I'm not. I just felt I needed to say something. I'd say they can guess everything about me, to be honest. Yeah.
That I used to have blue hair.
Maybe that I travel a long distance for work now. I have about an hour commute in the morning and evening to work.
I don't know. My age? I think I'm 100. I don't know. I can't answer that.
One thing they wouldn't guess about me, that I used to play a lot of sport.
Geez, I don't know. What wouldn't do? It's a very good question. They wouldn't guess. I actually don't know. Like I think, geez, you know, what would you not know about me?
This is my favourite question for all the teachers.
Honestly, I can't think of anything that would be like that you probably wouldn't already really.
Okay, I have 8 tattoos.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay, yeah.
As long as they're hidden and we don't know that they're
Yeah.
probably okay.
Excellent.
Maybe that I'm from Dublin, but I think some of you probably know that by now. I play music as well.
Oh, what do you do music with?
I play the fiddle.
I have qualifications as a personal trainer and sports nutritionist.
Oh, one thing they wouldn't guess about me. I'd say I'm a farmer. Like, unless they know I'm a farmer, they wouldn't guess it, I presume.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's usually the stereotype I get, yeah.
That I'm from Limerick, maybe? Maybe they might know I'm from Limerick.
I have a husband who does not know how to dress at all. It's an embarrassment to me. I dare say, yeah, he doesn't know how to dress. Very poor sense of dress. You'd be shocked. You'd be shocked if I brought him in here. I'd have to dress him up before I could bring him in, girls. Definitely.
That's my favourite one.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that was perfect. Oh, violin thing anyway, because I'm not too.
Probably violin, yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't think that
Yeah.
at all, at all.
Yeah, I played from when I was 7. I played for maybe 18 years. 19 years.
Wow.
Oh, that's so cool. Like classical, like.
No, I take that back. It wasn't 18, 19 because that would make me older than I am. Maybe about, what is 7? Maybe 15 years? 14 years. Yeah, classical. Classically trained.
Oh, that's really cool.
Maybe my age. Yeah. I'm addicted to Monster Munches.
Wouldn't guess about me. I don't know. I suppose most students wouldn't have known that I might have taken a career break and that I worked with the ISPCC. I don't think that would be something that they would guess.
Christ. I don't know. That's a difficult one. Sorry, now obviously you can crop a lot of this. That they wouldn't guess about me.
This is always a hard one, especially not knowing upstairs. So then, yeah.
That I am very quiet.
One thing students wouldn't guess about me, I'm fairly open book with them. I think that they'd know most things, but like, I suppose it'd be nice to know that students understand that we really care and we really want the very, very best for them. And sometimes they mightn't see it that way, but I suppose that's what I'd like for them to see.
Wouldn't guess. I'm very open, so I actually don't know. Probably maybe to do with kickboxing and stuff, that I was a world champion maybe. That's about it, that I'm a big softie, really.
That was it for this podcast. We hope you enjoyed. We definitely had a bit of a laugh listening to all the teachers' answers.
As well, just a note, next week we will be uploading a what we do in a week, which turned into basically a month for the podcast. So alongside this podcast, anything we've done for it, as well as anything we've generally done for the podcast, but over the span of what it took to do this podcast, we've been recording, and we're going to be uploading that next week. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Was it recording? Yeah, of course. Oh, cool, you start.
I don't know, I was just about to.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, come on. Alongside, actually, no, that we should do that part for the outro. Never mind.
What do you expect to be said after that?
You say it. Hope you enjoy. You just know we were traits.
Oh, sorry. You know what I mean.
I'd like to do it on Thursday.
We're finishing Thursday, the last day.
Oh, well, I'd love to go out in a blaze of glory as the last one.
It's up to yourself.
Did the rest of them have one or not? Give an answer.
Okay, hold on. Should I be saying my first name or what?
Most have, yeah.